Here we go, here we go. Good morning. How you doing? Oh, where'd that notification go? How are we sounding? Sounding good, sounding good. 4 viewers already. Who's going to be first? Raymond is first. Hello, Raymond. How you doing? How you doing? Who else we got here? 8 viewers. Oh, you missed me. You've missed me. It's been a couple of days. Lucky Jack. Lucky Jack, the man is in the house. Oh, look at this new fresh haircut. I think you already saw it, but anyway. Morning, Carl. 333. Trip. Big earns here too. Hey, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Whilst we're waiting for a couple of more people to join, and we'll get into the interesting topic, who has the best horses? What stable has the best horses? Drop the stables in the comments below, and maybe a couple of key horses within those stables. Let me know which stable is your favourite stable. Which stable has the most horses that you would like to have in your own stable? All right, drop that in below and I'll talk about a couple of stables or a few horses that I would love to have in my stable. Now. Oh, the interesting news is I don't have any yet because I only ordered mine 3 or 4 days ago, but Poseidon has merchandise. Woo! Anyway, I don't know whether any of you are going to buy it, but it looks damn cool. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. It looks really cool. How do you like the new web logo? Here's the new web logo. Let me give you a little bit of a rundown on the logo. As an artist, as you guys know, I'm very into metaphors and somewhat hidden messages within my work, and I incorporated that into the design process of the logo as well. So, you know, I suppose we wanted to maintain the trident because we always had the trident as the Poseidon logo, so that was the main core of the overall logo spec. And then I wanted to incorporate the red. Grange is my favourite horse, and I love the combination of red, black and white. I think it looks really striking, and red is a really exciting, vibrant, powerful colour. All right, so we wanted to incorporate the red. And then I also wanted to incorporate the diamond feature, because obviously diamond within crypto projects really like a lot of strength. It's a really strong feature, so you might be able to see at least 1 diamond. Can you see 3? There's actually 3 diamonds. Here's the main one in here, the bigger overall red feature, and then the little cutout in the middle is a diamond as well. So we've got 3 diamond strength, happy days, and then of course the bull. I wanted the bull because the bull is one of strength and power and surging to new highs, if you like. So, you know, I kind of like it. I love how it's got 3 or 4 hidden meanings within there. You might be able to see some more. I love this bullhead here. This abstract bullhead is just awesome as the handle of the trident. You know, the crest of the bull in between the horns is a diamond. Yeah, I quite enjoy it. Now, let's check out the merch. Glad it does not go too cartoony, Raymond. Yes, I agree. I had a couple of designers working on this, and the other designer wasn't to my liking. It was a little bit too, yeah, sort of cartoony, if you like. I think what we've got is very classy now. Look at it there on the shirts. Oh yeah, look at this. So I've bought myself, get ready to see me decked out in my Poseidon gear. I bought this hat. No, I didn't. I bought the trucker hat. Where's the trucker hat? I bought this hat, logo only. If we click on there, that one there. We decided to put logo only. Look at this shirt. I think I bought this shirt too. Looking good. And I got the coffee mug. Where's the coffee mug? Is it? Oh, there we go. I bought this guy. Oh, no, I didn't. I bought this one. So I can advertise Poseidon Racing with my cup of tea. So look, this is mainly for my own purposes, but there were some people out there that asked if we could do this, so maybe some people want to get a Poseidon hat or a Poseidon shirt. Who knows, but it's there if you want it anyway, guys. There's a link in the description for that. What do you guys think? Is that cool? Is that stylish? Is that pretty stylish? I think that looks pretty stylish. Give me a thumbs up, or give me a stylish or not stylish in the comments. Would you, if I gave this away for free, would you wear it? If you had to pay for it, would you buy it? Don't know. Doesn't really matter, does it? All right, cool. Anyway, whilst we're here, of course, we've got breeding coming up too. So I've got this offspring sales, so add your name to the email list and you'll get advance notice of our next offspring sales. And in fact, my brother and I, have I got it here? We just set up our breeding plan last night. It's likely to change. And some of these horses are subject to being bred by other people. I just put the feelers out again last night. Okay, so yeah, we got some breathless edges going with Satoshi, Ace of Spades, and one of Heroine's horse called Absolutely Lit at this point. Grandeur with those combos. Yeah, so that's looking really, really nice. And in actual fact, if you have some really good horses, like really good mares or studs, and you're looking for really good racing mares or studs to breed them with, contact me. Either contact me via the website here, poseidonracing.run, and you will see there is a contact page here. All right, fill that in, contact me, let me know the name of the horse, give me the links and stuff, we'll have a look. Because I'm always interested in swapping breeds. The best way to do it now, I think, is if you have two good horses and I have two good horses. Obviously, they need to be equal numbers of mares and studs, whether I have one mare, one stud, and you have one mare, one stud, or two mares from yourself and two studs from me. That kind of thing. And what we do is we breed those two combinations, decide which ones, we split them one each, and then the following month we flip the order. We breed them again the same combination, but then flip who gets which offspring. That's probably the best 50-50 option at the moment. Old salty tadpole, I haven't seen your name here, but you've made me have a little chuckle. How much is the gas fee on OpenSea? That is an interesting question. I know you're only having a bit of a lend, but wouldn't it be cool to have wearables? If you know anyone who designs wearables for your Decentraland characters, I know that's not a huge market yet, but we could look really sharp wandering around Decentraland in our Poseidon hats and Poseidon hoodies, couldn't we? That could be cool. Lucky Jack would wear the F out of it. Yeah, we put a little bit of F in there, mate, so you're more than welcome to wear the F right out of it. Okay. Anyone involved in bonsais? Is that a new NFT? I don't even know what you're talking about there. Jessway. Got some new names here. Jessway, I haven't seen you in the chat before. Welcome, welcome. Hit the sub button if you haven't already. Guys, one other thing before we talk about what we came here for was who has the best horses in their stable. A little bit of tongue in cheek, or my opinion really. One other thing before we go into that. Next week, I'm probably going to do 1 or 2 live shows like today, like we're doing now, because I'm also going to create the ultimate beginner, or the ultimate Zed Run guide, but it will be for beginners and any level really. I'm going to create a series of 5-minute videos, 5 to 10-minute videos, going through every single facet of the game as I know it. Okay, I anticipate that we'll start off with about 8 videos, somewhere between 6 and 10 videos to start with, and I'll keep adding them as we discover new angles to breeding, new facets, new this, new that. I'll keep updating and adding. I'll create them in a playlist. They'll be all ordered in a specific order, so you can just, if you're a beginner, you can just jump in there and get a full set of knowledge, you know, within the first hour. of studying Zed Run through this playlist. So I'll do that next week, or start that next week, and we'll see how we go. If you don't know, my background is education, online video education. So I'll use those skills to really set out a simple and very informative breakdown of how Zed works. Raymond, that's a good question. We might answer that today, actually. Raymond asks, or says, I listened to your podcast again last night and asks, do I still feel like females are undervalued, or did the breeding updates help any? Long term, nothing's changed, Raymond. Long term's nothing's changed. And my main, short term, the value of females has gone through the roof. Absolutely. I've been buying females myself because all of a sudden only having the ability to breed one female has restricted how many offspring I was able to breed. So I went out searching for some cheapish or good value females, and I ended up getting a couple. I missed out on one yesterday, silly me. It was really good value in hindsight, but that's the way things go. When you're trying to get a bargain, often it goes before you get it. But yeah, in the short term, the females have gone through the roof. In the long term, now I'm not 100% on this fact. It's not a fact. I'm not 100% on this angle, but it looks like, from my understanding of how breeding may work, that female genesis are replaceable. And that's where the value proposition long term lies with me. Now, I have roughly 50% females, 50% males, so I'm hedged on both sides of the equation now. But long term, and what I mean by replaced is, the males look to be really, really important in the breeding structure, whereby they can hold the breeding at the exclusive and elite level. There's some videos on this back in the back catalogue very, very early, about my 4th or 5th video probably, and obviously the podcast that Raymond is talking about, which you can find in the links below, also touches on this subject of how the males can breed with exclusive mares and elite mares, and the offspring will remain exclusive and elite. Whereas if you breed exclusive males with genesis mares at that same level, they get knocked down a breeding level. So if you breed an exclusive stud with a genesis mare, you end up with an elite offspring. Okay, and that looks to be important. Now, what I mean by replaceable, it looks like to me that once you get past the initial offspring, the seeding level where you combine the genesis together and create the legends, that from that point on, once you've done that, from that point on, the mares start to have a bit wishy-washy breeding utility, if you like, or value, because the stallions look like you keep putting them in along the line, in, back in, back in, back in, whereas the mares degrade the breed type. So I'm not sure. So my breeding strategy is to use the genesis mares at the top and keep breeding those legends. I'm then going to breed my legends with legends, and I spoke about this the other day because this is a hard one to explain really, really quickly, but if, for example, we consider that the grandparents and the great-grandparents, so not only the parents, but the great-grandparent, not only the parents, but the grandparents and great-grandparents also have an influence on the genetic makeup of the offspring. If we consider that to be the case, then when we breed genesis together, the genesis don't have parents or grandparents or great-grandparents. So the ability for those offspring to reach back into the previous generations is somewhat limited, or it's completely limited to the genesis parents. Okay, and that might go some way to explaining why legends are not proving to be, on average, the greatest races out there. I would suggest, and you might agree, that it looks at this point that the exclusives and the elites are the best races as far as the bred horses go in the game. Now, there's some exceptions to that, of course. Y2K2K, Wild Catter, Is Vanilla Bean an exclusive, or is Vanilla Bean also a legend? Let's have a look here. Vanilla Bean is a legendary as well, okay? So there is some very, very good legendaries, but there seems to be, in my opinion, more talent, more great races coming from the exclusive and the elite, and that is likely because once you pull down a few generations, your offspring has the opportunity to not only draw its genetics from its direct parents, but also add to those genetics by pulling down genetics from the grandparents and the great-grandparents. And if we look at those glitch horses like Roid Rager and Escobar, they had 4 parents, okay? They were legendaries, were they? I think they were legendaries. But they had 4 parents, so it's kind of like they were drawing from these 4 different genetic gene pools, and it was all coming together in addition to give them those ridiculous racing talents. So if we look at that as an example, then we may want to, or we may not get the really good races until we have those bigger, gene pools to draw from. And what I mean by bigger gene pools is as you bring down the best genesis and create the best legendaries and breed those best legendaries together and potentially create the best exclusives, then we start getting that situation where when you breed another offspring, you get these great genetics from the parents, the grandparents and the great-grandparents to draw from and create the next generations of really great races. Okay, so that looks to be, and keep in mind, the only point in that scenario where you use the mares is right at the beginning stage. And in fact, at that level, from what I just explained, you don't use the Genesis stallions again at that stage. But once you get to the exclusive level, if you get a really nice exclusive male racer, and let's say that Breathless Edge is the grandparent, you can then breed Breathless Edge back in as the stallion and maintain that exclusive level, which also gives you a higher concentration of these great studs in your offspring. All right. If you do that with a mare, you drop to elite the next step, and if you do it with that mare again, or another mare again, you'll drop to, what do you go from elite to pacer, is it? Elite to, is it elite pacer? Hang on. I should know this, shouldn't I? I haven't looked at it for a long time. I'm sure you're all going to be answering it for me down there. Is this the chart? It looks like the chart. Here it is. We go cross first. Do we? No, we don't. Exclusive elite cross pacer. Yeah. So, it's hard to say. As I said, I'm hedged both ways. I've got 50% mares, 50% studs. Maybe the mares, there's rumours the mares carry the dominant racing gene, all right? But even if that is the case, the Genesis mares still look somewhat replaceable in the breeding schedule to a degree, because as soon as you get, an epic legend mare, then that would be the preferred breeding partner to then bring down the next level. And as soon as you get an epic exclusive mare, that again would take precedence to extend that breeding line down. That's the way that it kind of looks to me at this stage. But we will get to the best stables in the game in a moment. We'll answer some of these questions. We'll leave you on tender hooks, wondering who I think the best horses and the best stable. Who has the most best horses? Doesn't sound like good English. Salty Tadpole, trying to get your first horse for 0.2. What's that? 0.2 is about, it's a pretty good budget. Yeah, $500. You should be able to get a pretty good horse. Look, wait, my advice is either there's a drop supposedly coming 5th, 6th of the month, which puts it a couple of days away. I haven't seen any more news on that on the Zed Run Discord or any of those announcements as yet. But there's supposedly a drop coming soon in the next couple of days. Not financial advice, of course, but I would be trying to spend your budget on the drop because it seems to be the best place to buy horses. For point 2, you're probably not going to get a great horse unless you get it at the drop, and in which case you don't know how good the horse is until you race it, but at least you have a chance of it being good and a chance of it being not so good. More of a chance of it being not so good, to be honest. First time for Jessway. Welcome, welcome. ZenFT sold 8,888 bonsais in 57 minutes. There's a new project popping up every day. I like to research these projects for at least a couple of hours before I jump in. At the moment, like Zed Run breeding, you can get away with breeding donkeys and flip them because there's a lot of demand, or at least that's what looks like is going to be the case, is that you're going to be able to breed pretty much any horse and probably sell it for a profit for the first, who knows, month or 2, not financial advice. And it's a little bit like that in the NFT market at the moment. Pretty much every project, you can sort of buy some and flip some and make a little bit of money. But we're in a massive hype cycle, in my opinion, a huge hype cycle in the NFT market. How that affects Zed Run? Look, I'm sure we're going to have, nothing goes up forever and ever and ever and ever. All right, just keep that in mind. Nothing goes up for an ever and ever and ever. Generally, they go up, they cool off, and they go up, and they cool off, and they go up, and they cool off. Well, when they go up, they come down and cool off for a period, and then they grab more attention, so they tend to zip back up again, come back down, cool off. And if you've got a good project, generally those steps are higher each time. And you can see that with a lot of things. You can see that with a lot of the crypto cycles and even some of the other stock market cycles as well. But again, not financial advice, but at the moment we seem to be in a massive hype cycle and everything is going a little bit ballistic. So keep that in mind. Just be aware that, you know, what goes up eventually cools off and comes back down. It might not come all the way back down to the bottom, but it will generally come off where the top, you know, points were, the top prices were. But we also have the risk that we haven't reached the top yet, and we might have another 100 or 200 or 300% to go before we cool down. So there's always the risk of, do I get in now? And I think in the case of the Genesis drop horses, it's a reasonable entry point, in my opinion. Again, don't base my opinion on your own buying decisions. Do your own research. But yeah, anyway, if you believe in Zed Run and believe in how the game unfolds in the next coming 2-3 years, I also think that, in my opinion, I also think that the user base might grow more slowly from now, because I think the initial explosion in user base over the last 3 months, where we went from like 500 users up to 60,000 users, was mainly the inner rumour mill of the NFT crowd. Okay, so let's assume there's roughly 100,000 really active NFT buyers in the games, in the collectibles, sort of mixing and milling around. Maybe there's 200,000, maybe there's 300,000. It's probably more likely to be 300 or 400 or 500,000 of those. But the 60,000 that we got are really the core first movers, okay, that really get into pretty much everything. And I think we've probably got most of them in already. So now we're kind of waiting for, when are we going to get a hold of, you know, the average Joe that's not into crypto? And I don't think we're ready for that yet. So you might see the user base also plateau some degree. Probably make a liar out of me and it will explode to 2,000 or 3,000, but we'll see. Worm, I haven't seen you here before either, Worm. Welcome. What can we do to make sure a horse stays in its preferred class? I have a horse that's good odds in class 5 but gets stuck in 4. Nothing really. You can try and race it in distances that it's not suited to try and get last places and drop it back down. But I don't think that's a very good idea in my opinion, because you end up wasting all your time and wasting all your money and wasting all your stats and win percentages. I think you're much better off to just let the cards fall the way they fall and enter your horse in its best possible races as many times as you can and build that horse up to a 15 or 20% win rate if you can. And if it can't compete in the next level, then just retire it and go to breeding and then race the offspring, you know, without destroying the stats. Because if you've got a horse that's 10 or 15%, it's going to be quite desirable when it comes to breeding and selling offspring, potentially, in my opinion. So, yeah, I certainly don't tank or purposefully try and get my horse to lose, because its negative impact on the stats is probably more harmful in the long run than earning $2 or $3 more that you might get from losing and then winning another race. Trevor, I think there was a blog on the minimum breeding fee the other day. I can't remember what it was. It might have been 0.2 for a Z1-ish, around 0.2. And I think it was, at the time, I'm not sure what the price of ETH was, but it was quite up there for the rest of the Zeds. It was like a couple of $100 at least. Is there a recent blog? Zed Run Breeding minimum. That was from 2019. When was this one? This looks new. Da-de-da. Minimum price is currently set at 0.075, which if ETH is currently at 2,700 by 0.075, yeah, $200. It's pretty expensive, but then again, you get 35% discount if you're breeding in-house, and if you've got 2 stables, which you can have. Zed said that's okay to have 2 stables. Me and my brother have 3. If you've got 2, you can put your mares in one stable and your studs in another stable. And when you breed from one stable to another, you get 55% commission, all right, for those, because that's the way it works, 55% commission on the breed, which works out to be a 55% discount, let's be honest, because your studs, your mares have to pay the 100% full price to breed with your stud, but then your stud earns 55% of that fee in commission. Whereas if you do it within house, you just get a 35% discount. So you're better off, if you've got 2 stables, split your mares on one side, your studs on the other, and crossbreed them out of stable, because you'll get a 55% commission, and it's better than the 35% discount. So with that in mind, it looks like you might be able to breed for about $100, which is pretty good, hey? That's pretty good for the cheaper horses, which would be probably the Z10s and below. And then I'm not sure how that works out for a Z1. Do they tell it here? I'd have to do that. 56% commission, in fact, it says here. Although this also, I'm not sure if this is up to date, but yeah. Breed type, so 0.75 times 180 for a Nakamoto times 180 for a Genesis. What's that equal? Z1, what did I say? 0.75 times 1.8 times 1.8. So 0.24 times 2,700. $650 to breed a Z1 currently. At the minimum, it looks like it might be. All right. Pedro, big hug from Portugal. Big hug right back at you, champion. FOMO'd in. Yeah, there's a lot of FOMO going on, Jessway. I prefer to do research and pick. Oh, look, I've been burnt by bad projects. The most recent one being that Apimon egg thing. Absolute disaster. And I doubled down as well. I absolutely doubled down and burnt myself doubly. Not that I've invested a lot in that, but too much. More, more than I'm comfortable in potentially losing, or more than I'm happy to lose. And now I know that's the case with any NFT, but there's some bad projects that can turn pear-shaped quickly. So just be careful, just be careful. The Welfarian, new as well. Love to have you here, welcome, welcome. All right, so just be careful. Not all projects are great. There's a lot of hype around. And in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, don't base your buys or sells on anything that I say or do. But in my opinion, currently, there's a lot of cash grabbing going on in NFT projects. Most of the projects that are around are probably going to fail, let's be honest. They're probably going to just hype up, fizz out, gone. So what I intend on doing is sitting back, yes, investing in the projects that I think have longevity, like Zed Run, and a couple of others. But if I don't know the history and the team behind new projects, I tend to sit back and wait. And what I intend on doing is wait until the hype cycle has its down cycle, and then I'll go through and cherry pick and buy when they're down low all my favorite projects. Okay, we are going to get, I would assume, a period of possibly 6 or 12 months when no one is interested in NFTs again. When everyone's like, oh, NFTs, are they really a thing? Blah, blah, blah. It's all crap. Much like Bitcoin when it went from 20,000 down to 3,000 US dollars. Oh, Bitcoin's dead. Cryptocurrency is dead. It's all dead. When in actual fact, it might have been a good opportunity to buy at that point. Not financial advice. All right, best stables in the game. Best stables in the game. Here we go. So for a while there, when I first joined, it was the likes of Lucky Jack, Beaver, King Beaver. He was definitely the king of the Zed Run back then. He had horses like Taco, Tuesdays was very dominant. What was the other one? Alpha Omega was pretty good, and a few others. And there was also another stable called the Jacobs. There was also Paddy Jack Harley's, PJH, a great stable. So when I first came in, these were the top of the pops. And then myself and Doofy joined around about the same time. And we started really sort of getting into it and really hustling and trading and putting a lot of energy and research into the game, and started buying horses and then building our knowledge and buying more and more horses. So I guess me and Doofy ended up joining some of those top stables and maybe even surpassing those top stables as far as the best horses are concerned. Lucky Jack. Even surpassing, Doofy picked up the likes of, let's have a look at Doofy's stable actually. come up. Doofy Racing. Now, Doofy has a couple of stables, but I think his best horses are in this one. What's he got? 14.4%. Not bad. I mean, that doesn't mean a lot, to be honest. Well, it does, but it's not that critical. It's more about the actual high-quality horses that he has in here. So he's got the likes of, you know, Atar is pretty good. Atar! With an exclamation point, 15%. What a beautiful horse. Elite Runner, okay, one of the elite crew. Ducky on the Edge is not bad, 13%. Yeah, you'd take that. You know, these are the kind of horses that I'd like to have in my stable. Bit Lip, Arctic Snow, a rare, Z8 rare Genesis. I'd like to have that one in my stable. How about you guys? Chronic Gangster, that was the first horse that Doofy bought, I believe. I'm not as sentimental, I'm a bit more hard-edged, and I sold my first horses, and I sold my best favourite. I should have kept Ace King. If the owner of Ace King is out there, give me a shout. I might buy him back just for a, just to have him on the mantelpiece, because he was an absolute weapon at the time. So back then, before the reset, I had Ace King, The Dream, Xena Warrior Princess. I easily had the best horses. Me and Paddy Jack Harley had the best horses right before the reset, and now we've had a bit of a reshuffle. So early days it was Beaver, Lucky Jack, Jacobs. Who else was really up there in racing? Lucky Jack might drop a few stables that were back in the day and had some good horses. And then myself and Doofy came in and breeding opened up, and I got really lucky with breeding. So then I had a bunch of the best horses, plus some okay Genesis at the time. And then when the reset came, I switched my strategy from breeding temporarily to collecting the best Genesis in the game. I all of a sudden saw that the Genesis were really, really important. So I started collecting those. And Doofy started doing much similar. And he ended up having, you know, Ducky Malin. At the time he had Breathless Edge, you know, Chosen Well. This thing's a gun. I tried to buy this off Doofy back when I was collecting good Genesis as well. What's Tap and Go? Yes, it's pretty good. Look at, I love that. Only 2/3, nice. Enormo is another great horse. Look at this thing, just a beast. More consistent with those sort of stats there. So you can see, Vast Sensibility. I'm trying to get a breed with Doofy on Fast Sensibility. Very, very nice as well. Would match up with Insane Him, same colour. Fingers crossed we could maybe get a, what's it called, Supercoat. And then we've got, you know, something special. I passed up on this horse as well. I had the opportunity to buy this horse for 5 ETH after it blew up. Oh, I'm devastated. The amount of good horses that I've passed up on. Obviously it was unraced at the time, this particular one. I'll tell you about some other sob stories as we go through some of these great stables. But this one, the reason it's particularly a sob story is I should have bought it, because it was a mint number 5 and it was only 5 ETH, and I knew that mint number was valuable back then, and it was unraced, and I ended up going with a name that I was kind of drawn to instead of the mint number, which was pretty silly at the time. I've regretted that one ever since. I had first dibs and first choice on a pack of Z1s. There was about 8 of them. I took 4, Doofy took 4. I was in there first, so I got to choose my 4, and I left him that one. And he ended up being a very nice horse. I did get some good ones though. I got Oh My Ether and Silver Lining. Silver Lining was the one I got instead of this guy. This mare. I wish I got something special, but that's the way it goes. So yeah, Doofy and myself. Let's have a look at Poseidon Racing. I don't have my actual wallet connected, so I'll have to look up. Let's look up Grandeur. So my brother and I have obviously combined stables, but let's have a look at the ones that I think might be popular in other stables. Insane Mirage is a beautiful bred horse. Comes from Mirage and Insane Him. Very, very nice. I'm looking to breed this with my other really, really nice legends to create grandkids that have the likes of, let's imagine we got a grandkid that has grandeur and Insane Him and, you know, a couple of really nice mares as well. That's what I'm looking for. Big Fish is another nice legendary and a mare. I need to breed Big Fish and Insane Mirage together. I've done it once and didn't get a great result, to be honest. I need to do that again. She comes from Super Spirit and Wall Street, another nice one. I mean, Be Lucky, I'm very blessed. I mean, I complain that I missed out on a few beauties. But the reason, look, I don't think one stable overly dominating the game is great. So the fact that I did miss out on some of those ones that Doofy's got, and there's another couple coming up when I get to some other stables that I had first dibs on and passed. But I'm quite happy that they went to other stables because it's not a healthy system if I end up with all the great horses, to be honest, as much as I would like that to be the case. So Be Lucky's nice, Sands of Time's another nice one. Not the greatest, to be honest. This is mainly free racing. My Everything, again, mostly free racing, a talented horse, but probably not profitable in the current class system. I would expect My Everything to be 12s, maybe 15s against the real big horses. Alabaster Lily, another beautiful bred horse. This one's doing well. That's mostly paid. Lovely Witch has promise. I haven't lightly raced. Oh, look at all these. I'm an Excited Prince and pushing 20%, all paid racing. Just, you know, I'm very blessed. I mean, super rare Gainsborough. You know, not the best win rate, but this is a pretty talented horse as well. That's mostly, probably half paid. And then she's a free racer. Look, Insane Him, 400 races, nearly pushed up to 22%. It's a lot of riches, isn't it? It's a lot of riches. Insane Him I brought back out of retirement. Look at this, guys. I noticed that the Class 1, Know Your Rights, Know Your Horses is what we're looking for. Who have I been researching? Who's 605? Figured it out. I bought this one the other day. Paid a pretty penny for that one though. What do we want? We want Insane Him. Now, keep in mind, I don't think I have the best horses in the game. I certainly have a lot of good horses. But look at Insane Him. I brought Insane Him out of retirement back 31st. Where are we? I've done a lot of racing recently, haven't I? Probably about here I brought him out of retirement. And look at this. I don't know how many races we've got. Let's highlight those. Can I drop that into Excel? Still with me? Oh, it's not dropping in the way I wanted it to. Pay special, text. No. I was hoping I could see how many rows there was quickly. Don't save, never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11 with that one. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Great YouTube. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Geez, I raced a lot. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, about 42. And how many wins? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 wins from 42. So running at roughly 25%, slightly over 25%. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible little comeback for Insane Him. Matter of Time, another great sprinter. Golden Luria, this is mostly free races, but she's very talented. Silver Lining, this is the one I bought instead of Something Special. Oh, what was I thinking? Like Something Special is a great name. It was a mint. This one was an ETH cheaper, it was 4 ETH, but Something Special was 5, and I was a bit tight on the ETH, and that's going to be a recurring theme. If you're looking at building a stable, it's always good to have a little bit of ETH left in case an opportunity pops up, because when do the opportunities pop up? They always pop up when you got no ETH left. They got no ETH left. So I was a bit tight on ETH, so I got the silver lining. She's okay. Look, she's okay, but something special is much, much better, and a mint 5. So well done there, Doofy. Ace of Spades is a really nice breeder. Shimmer is good. That's mostly paid. She's nice. My Ether is good too. A lot of that's paid as well. And then obviously Grandeur doing very, very well. And Wall Street, mostly free racing Wall Street there. So that's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Bob the Nailer back in the... Oh, of course, Bob the Nailer. Yes, of course, of course. How could I forget Bob? Trevor asks, how did I find out about Zed so early? I was literally Googling. I was always into crypto and NFTs, and I was looking to get into an NFT game, and I literally Googled horse racing NFT game. Can you believe it? I literally Googled the exact right term. There is supposed to be a drop, Welfarian, this weekend, Sunday or Monday or something. Aloha Racing, yeah, let's check them out. Raymond, drop me a horse name, because I don't know how to search for Aloha unless I've got a horse to search for. I've recently retired Grandeur because I don't think he can maintain. I don't think, well, he was above 25%. I raced him twice the other day and he didn't get a win for me, but I will race him again shortly. I'm just waiting to see what the class system does. I want to keep that win rate as high as possible. And I don't think he can maintain that against the best of the best. Look, Grandeur is probably, as far as Z1's concerned, he's probably in the top 3, definitely in the top 5 in my opinion. As far as overall horses in the game, you've got other horses like Rendezvous Peak and Vanilla Bean and Steph Curry and all these other horses that are now coming through, Baroque as well, although Baroque's not a distance specialist like Grandeur is. Yeah, I think Grandeur, I raced him in a couple of $5 and he was $7, still 7 to 1, so he still mixes it with the best of the best, but in the big $50 and $25 races, he probably drifts out to 10s, 11s, and I don't think he can maintain that 25%. So I've just been picking and choosing my races, and I've had a lot of other things going on. So I haven't really been racing, and I've been using Insane Him because he's got the same distance preferences instead of Grandeur lately. So, all right, mainly talking about racing stables today. Let's have a look. Let's go to and find Satoshi. Yeah, I might race her soon, Lucky Jack. I'm really itching to race her. I think that will happen. I think that will happen in the future. We might do it live. What if she's a 10 to 1 though? Oh, that'd be devastating. And it would, look, I think she potentially could be $1 million horse on a collectible level. So it would be a huge risk, but we'll see. Yeah, I think be strong. I think you're right, Lucky Jack, after I just talked that out aloud. Let's have a look at Baroque Stable, which is Good Boy Racing. And this is the reason why I wanted to come and talk about this today, is because if you are new to the game, which a lot of you out there are, and you're thinking, oh, I can never be the great stable. Well, Good Boy Racing joined, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6 months ago at most, and has built up what I consider to be, if you were to take just the top 10 horses from stables that have more than 10 horses and compare them, Good Boy Racing has the best of the best horses, in my opinion, when it comes to comparing, say, your top 5 or your top 10 horses. And look, they've only got 11 in this stable. I'm not sure if they've got stables with more, but as you flick through, look, you know, that's probably not one of the better ones, 15% almost. 20% looks to be retired. 18% may also be retired by the look of it. So they're very, very smart with what they do. But then you've got Rendezvous Peak, you know, there's no argument this is one of the best horses in the game, okay? And then recently they've bought Zed Run, 14 over 237 races, and they bought this at not much. It might have even been under the recent drop price. It was like 8 or 9 ETH, I think. Maybe they swapped some other horses as well. I'm not sure exactly, but the list price on OpenSea was pretty cheap. I was scratching my head. They've done exceptionally well. I haven't seen much of this horse around. I don't know a lot about it, but it looks to be, with that many races and that win rate, I mean, I wouldn't think that it's a, I wouldn't think it's a free race. So let's look it up. Let's look it up. And we'll click. I'm sure it's a paid racer, and they've just killed it, absolutely killed it with buying lately. Yeah, it's all paid. It's pretty much all paid. So that is exceptional. Odds, look at this. You know, that's one of the best Zed ones in the game. Absolutely. And what a beauty. What an absolute beauty. Deserves an Emmy. Another great horse. Dancing Rendered. Yep, we've all heard of that one. One of the best Zed 10s getting around. Vector Shine, bought from Doofy. One of the first horses that Good Boy Racing bought, I believe. And before you say, oh, well, their ETH budget is massive, you know, I can't afford to be buying these premium horses. You can work this same strategy on just about whatever budget you have. If you're patient and you know what to look for as far as odds, win percentage, those different types of scenarios, mainly odds, win percentage and ROI, and you can use knowyourhorses.com to do your research. That's what I use. You can do this with just about any strategy. We don't have to buy premium Genesis. You can look to buy, you know, premium bred horses early days. If you see a horse that jumps up and it's got $4 odds or $5 odds over a couple of races, well, maybe you should look to, look to buy that. That's Unraced, Luria Overcast. I like that name. Who knows, that could be another great one. This is another sob story. Third Head, and Baroque to a certain degree was as well. I inquired about both of these horses, and I didn't have the money. I think Baroque went for about 30 ETH from memory, and I think she's worth every cent. If not the best Z1 in the game, very, very close to it. And this new one, Third Head, I was contacted, I believe, before Good Boy Racing, but I said no, I didn't have the ETH to purchase Third Head. And I'd also contacted Luke, who sold it back in February, but he'd lost his wallet and he thought the horse was gone forever. And then recently he contacted me as one of the first contacts to sell Third Head. And I said, look, mate, I don't have the ETH, so go and, you know, probably go and sell it elsewhere. And Third Head did the right thing, bought it. The reason I thought Third Head was a gun, I'll show you. Now, this is not always the case. There was still risk. Oh, the sound is off, is it? Sorry, guys, hang on. I've done a reset. Let me just check. How are we sounding now? I've done a reset. Okay, sounds good for me. Hopefully that wasn't out for too long. All right, everyone else is hearing me? Okay, cool. Anyway, I did a reset. Sounds good. All right, so the reason I thought Third Head was so good back in February was I noticed that his Griffin, he'd run a $3.14, which is one of the best Griffin odds getting around. And at that stage, these are all new races, as you can see, and it's been exceptional, you know, producing really great odds. So I would put this Third Head, even with his limited experience, I'd put him in the top 10 of Z1 horses for sure, and he may be even as high as top 3, top 5. Particularly when we look at this race here, the 2400, where he was $7.38. $7.38 favourite. Now, him is often $9. That's not a big deal, but when you've got a $7.38 favourite against him and against Zombie Boy, now Zombie Boy often also blows out to 12, so it's still a little bit up in the air. I would say that Third Head is almost certainly top 10, But we really need to see him run against the likes of Rendezvous, Vanilla Bean, who else we got up at that level? You know, maybe even Breathless, if my brother brings Breathless Edge back out, or maybe even Grandeur. Okay, so, but yeah, this is really, really promising for third head. But if we jump back, what I noticed was this $3.14. Okay, and if you see this $3.14, you go, okay, well, that's really nice. All right, so I inquired about him back in February. But then when I looked at some of these other horses, you know, you then go and look at the other favourites and go, well, how strong was this race? All right, and we go, okay, $3.14, this is the next favourite. We click on that, Border Bandit. All right, that's not promising, is it? Because, you know, it's okay, but for some reason it hasn't been raced. Maybe this is a decent horse to go out and try and grab a Z7 bargain, you know what I mean? It could be okay, this horse, because it was up against one of the best Z1s in the game. It may not be as well. I'm not confident on that. But then we look at, excuse me, stylish Minerva. Hopeless at reading out names that I don't recognise. Look at this. This Z5 looks to be one of the best Z5s in the game. If we flick over to paid, it's running at 14%, almost paid racing, and very, very good odds. Look at this. 7s, 8s, 9s. So when you see that third head or any horse was, you know, super, super short against at least one horse that is a, you know, proven champion, you know you probably got something good, and it's turned out that way. But I didn't have the ETH in the stable. So, and then you've got, of course, the incredible Baroque, which I said. So I would say Good Boy Racing, thumbs up. I think you've taken the podium of the best racing stable or potentially taken the top spot of the best racing stable based on your top 5 to 10 horses, which in all honesty is mostly all most of us are racing currently. All right, because there's no fatigue, because the class system is a bit broken, you only really need 5 top horses to be the best racing stable. Now, when things change and the classes spread out and fatigue becomes a thing so that you can only maybe race your horse 3 times, 4 times a day, 5 times a day, who knows? Then the potential of having more horses may be more important to taking out number 1 spot as the number 1 stable. But as it stands currently, I think Good Boy Racing, best racing stable in the game. I couldn't go without mentioning at least the owner of Breathless Edge, me brother, Desi. And of course, we work in conjunction together. What's his is mine, what's mine is his, it's all 50-50. But as a standalone stable, Desi's Dream is outstanding as well, and I got to put it right up there. Is there any other stables that you want me to have a look at? That's all right. Yaya Altmac. I'll answer the questions in a moment, guys. But let me know if there's any other strong stables, and give me their key number 1 horse so I can find it easily here on the roster. So, Desi's Dream, is that what he's calling himself? Yeah, Desi has found a couple of nice Z5s recently. So Frosty Sky is looking good. It's not producing the wins yet, but its odds are exceptional. Trip to Triumph is the reverse of that. Its odds are okay, 9s-ish, but it's winning a lot, so that's great. Stargirl is an outstanding exclusive racer. We're looking to breed her, again with Insane Him, next breed, because she is actually the granddaughter of Insane Him. If we look back in her genetics, there's Insane Mirage and Starman. So we're going to breed her again with Insane Him. That will be interesting. Miller's Road is a beauty. Look at that, 16% over 500 races. What a beauty. Chris Spin is not bad. Jellyfinch is pretty good, 121, 13%. Alive After 5 is a bit of a monster, to be honest. 268, 19% win rate. Blackjack is very underrated. Very, very underrated. Not many people have Blackjack on their radar. 180 races, nearly all paid, nearly 18%. So I would put Blackjack up there level pegging at the moment. I think third head is probably likely to be somewhere around the Blackjack level, maybe even slightly better, but I would put Blackjack in the top 10 of what I know of horses. Maybe not quite, but on the edge of that. These Tramp and Van Dixon look pretty good, but they're not. They're mainly free races. And then you've got, of course, the famous Breathless Edge. You can't go, you know, beyond a stable without mentioning Breathless Edge. So you've got to put Desi's Dream in the top 5 stables, I think, currently racing stables. He's not racing a lot at the moment. So that's a good point, actually. I'm probably talking racing potential. So there'd be a lot of argument to say, well, come on, Sadsy, you're not even racing Poseidon all that much. You've raced Insane Him 30-odd, 40-odd races in the last couple of days, but other than that, that's the only races you've raced in the last month. So yeah, I'd agree with that. Racing potential, I'd put my own stable in the top 5 or 6, but current racing statistics, not even on the chart, not even on the chart. And that's probably the same with Desi's Dream. And of course, Starman here, a beautiful mare, sprinter. She's a very, very talented down-low sprinter. Okay. Nose Beer Bury, your stable, Payam. Give me your best horse. Satoshi Stables, yeah, I've been chatting. Oh, actually, yes, that's a good point. Taurus. Good mate Tony from... what's his stable called? But he doesn't have many horses. He only has about 5 horses, I think, Tony. But Hidden Gem Racing. He's got a couple of beauties in here. In fact, he's only got 3 horses, but he's got Steph Curry, beast. Okay, one of the best horses in the game. Even that one's not bad. And then Victorious Taurus, another beast. So he's got 2 beasts out of 3. So that's a good foundation for one of the best racing stables in the game. Now back on to Satoshi Stables. I've been talking to them, but yeah, they've got, well, I don't know if they've got, when I last checked they had, oh no, you might be right, 70 ones and twos. Yeah, they had like 46 ones. I don't know what they're doing. Most of them are unraced, I think. And I don't know any of their horses. Guys, you've got to give me the horses. You've got to give me the horses. And then I can look at the stables from there. I might be able to, hang on. I can look up Satoshi. Satoshi Stables. Oh, no, I can't. So I don't know what are they calling themselves? There's all these stables, I don't know. Enzo, Y2K2K, thank you. So I think Satoshi Stables are looking to be one of the big Z2 breeders by the look of or Z2, Z3, Z4, Nakamoto breeders. Y2K2K, brilliant horse from Enzo. Just got the 9 horses. Oh yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but that Tanqueray. What was that? It sounded like I was having a stroke. But yeah, got some epic horses. Y2K2K, this one here. Ice Flow, very, very good. Des is okay. He's very solid. He's not the greatest. Aaron, pretty good. Look at this thing. Gun for Hire, Z9, another elite really doing its thing. Beautiful horse, okay. Goldie, yep. Oh, wow, okay. Yep. I would put, currently from what we've seen, and assuming that Enzo is racing very actively at the moment, I would put them in the top 3, knocking out myself for Desi's Dream. So at the moment, I'd say the top 3 would be Good Boy Racing, Yeah, probably either Enzo or Doofy in the 2 or 3. As far as active races, I'm not sure if they're actually active. Let's have a look and see if there's any other big stables that I'm missing out on here. I want to try and cover as many as possible. Chemical Nosedive from Brothers Bloodshot, I believe we're looking at. Chemical, did I spell that right? Why are you taking so long to bring up that? There he is. I really love the Midnight Black horses. Oh man, I don't have one. They're just beautiful. It should be a rare colour, I think. Should have made it a rare. Okay, these got... Okay, they've only got 6 horses and they haven't raced any of these as yet. Come on. Oh, Heroine! I forgot about you. I need to mention you as well. Well, old mate Raymond, giving yourself a rap, mate. Getting on the show. Shout out for Raymond. I didn't realise it was your stable. And as much as we want it, and you want it to be one of the best stables in the game, it doesn't have the history behind it as yet for what I'm looking for at this point. But let's jump over and check out Phantom Pacer and Heroine, because I know that this is a very nice horse. Look at that. 140 races, nearly 19%. Very, very nice. 45 horses. What are the good ones here, Heroine? Oh, Blind Freddy. Blind Freddy, my old horse. Look, not the greatest racer, but has an interesting bloodline. And I know Heroine's interested in trying to breed some really nice horses from that horse. So I don't know a lot of your horses, but I know you got some good ones in here. Maybe not. I know that Absolutely Lit I've got a bit of a crush on. 50 races, 20%, that's pretty nice. She is breeding with Breathless Edge this month at this point. And Phantom Pacer I want to get a hold of for a breed or two soon too. Very, very nice Zed Run. I'd have him up in the top 10. My top 10's getting bigger though, isn't it? It's probably a top 20. And what I mean by that is all the horses that I previously said are probably top 10 are actually probably top 20s. Yep, so that's a nice one too. Ice Flow Stable is strong. Oh, Aloha. What's an Aloha horse? I know that Aloha has some really nice horses. Oh, here we go, Royal Plaza. They deserve a shout out. We'll do a few more and then we'll wrap this up. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. What was it? Plaza? Royal Plaza. These guys are they more so in the Z9-10 range? I think they are. What do they got? 29 horses, 14.7. That's an elite win rate. That's exceptional. Yeah, look at this. That's a beautiful horse. You know, Sky Dazzle. Definitely would like that in my stable. Yeah, 12.9. Yeah, I'd take it. Being a filly, it would be a nice addition. This one looks a bit iffy, if I'm honest. That one looks a bit iffy. Again, that's another nice one. Beautiful. Filly, if you, lots of fillies, lots of good fillies. Aloha, if you're watching, call me. Let's do some filly breeding with some of my best studs. Although you've got one of your own here, that's a beauty. It is an exclusive though, so it's going to be an elite next level, which is not necessarily a concern with the really good exclusives because you might get really good elites. Okay. Another nice mare, look at that, what a beauty. You got lots of nice mares here. Oh, call me, call me. My studs are pretty keen. There's one nice stallion. Wow, that's a very nice collection. Royal Plaza, a stud. Oh, he's got a fair few colts here too. Very, very nice. Look at all these. They're all, they're all nice. They're all nice. Stop it. Stop it. And a very active racer. So I would put, you got to put him in the top three. You got to put Aloha in the top three because he's an active racer. So although my stable and Desi's Dream Stable have the potential of being top stables and obviously top breeders, you can't put them up there at the moment because we're not racing. So this guy has to be up there, absolutely. Aloha, congrats. That's an incredible collection. If you are watching and if you're looking to breed some of these really talented horses with Z1s, get in touch, call me. Yeah, good choice, Dave. If someone like myself, calling myself Poseidon, if someone like myself or Aloha or Doofy or anyone that's got any knowledge reaches out to you and says, do you want to sell your horse? It's either jack the price or no. Reborn Racer. Yeah, pay your entry, guys. Hit the like button, pay your entry. Catch Me Riding Derby. Yeah, Good Boy's amazing. We found some really, I knew about these stables, Aloha and Enzo and Good Boy Racing. I just didn't do any preparation. I just thought I'd jump on and talk about them. But I think from what we found, and leave in the comments, if there's any other really great stables, leave them in the comments below and I'll have a look at them in a future video. But I think from what we've seen, you've got the likes of, obviously, some of the older guard. As I said, you've got Bob the Nailer, Lucky Jack, the Beaver, and the Yakobs. You know, they were the original older guard with the best horses. And then the next guard was the likes of Paddy Jack, Doofy, and myself. Okay, and we sort of come up and started racing and dominating racing for a little while. Now we've sort of sat back to a degree, and these newer stables are really dominating at the moment, and they're really buying horses that are suitable to the current system. When that new system changes, obviously we're still in beta or beta, and we had the reset. I don't anticipate another reset, but there's going to be a new class structure and there's going to be some rejigging. Who that suits will be really interesting as well. Now, I'm sure these guys have shown enough to suggest that they have a great eye and a great ability to adapt to whatever system comes, and I expect they will be top stables for a long, long time. Well, unless they sell out. But yeah, I think there's definitely a new guard there now, the likes of Good Boy Racing, Enzo Racing, and Aloha Racing. And I'm sure there's a few others in there as well that are doing really, really well. So congratulations to those stables. Now, I am one for building relationships, absolutely. I'm doing a lot of interbreeding with other stables. So if you've got some great horses, whether or not you are Enzo Stables or Good Boy or Aloha, if you are and you want to breed with some of my best Z1s or even Z2s or whatever, give me a call. I've got some good mares as well as some good studs. I'm always willing to listen. You don't have to be one of those big stables. You might just have one great horse, and that's your only horse. And you want to breed that with a really, really nice stud or a really, really nice mare, I'm up for it most of the time. Now, your definition of what is good and my definition of what is good might slightly vary, and that's where we need to find the common ground. But yeah, you can get in touch with me either via the website, poseidonracing.run, or you can find me on Discord. I don't comment on the Zed Discord. I don't like Discord very much, but you can message me on there via the direct messaging, or my Facebook group, which you'll find links in the description below. Other than that, that's it for us. It's been a long show. About an hour and 20. All right, thanks again for having me. And keep your eye out. Next week, as I said, I'm doing the comprehensive ultimate guide to Zed Run series of videos. They'll be pre-recorded, short, sharp, to the point, outlining essentially all the knowledge that I have sort of collected over the last 12 months, because it's pretty much my 12-month anniversary, I would think. Very, very close to a 12-month anniversary. All right, so keep your eye out for that, and we will chat again next week. Thanks again. Bye for now.